My name is Robert Lopez. I'm a certified practicing accountant in Western Australia. My primary background has been providing taxation and accountancy solutions to small business. Up until recently, I was running a financial services firm and have since set up a company called Expert Software Systems, whose main goal is to provide simple, low-cost solutions for small businesses to reduce the cost of their administration as well as improve the accuracy of that administration. What follows is a short presentation about a basic system which I'm surprised more people do not use. I've actually implemented some of these basic systems for clients in the past. It's very, very simple. Depending on your circumstances, it can help greatly reduce costs. So have a look, see what you think. Highlighting the point here is to try and maximise the advantage of these sort of systems. And the way to do that is to start off with the obvious statement that running a business in the Pilbara, and for those people in Western Australia in particular, they would know exactly what I'm talking about. The Pilbara region of WA is an extremely expensive place to live. You can rent a house there for over $100,000 a year. And food and everything else costs a great deal. People earn very high wages. That tends to drive the price of everything up. Everyone works for mining companies, so therefore wages are high, costs are high. If you run a small business in the Pilbara region, your costs can be extremely high. Now, to be fair, you can charge a lot more in the Pilbara region, but costs are costs. So what we're looking at here is someone running a business in the Pilbara. Therefore, we're talking about the administration of that business. We're talking about the base level accounting. The BAS return, the bank recs, debtors, creditors, all those sort of things, the basic bookkeeping. Now, this Pilbara-based business has a bookkeeper, and she's really well qualified and does a great job on the books. Wonderful. Everyone wants a great bookkeeper, and everybody wants someone who knows what they're doing and is very, very accurate. Now, this is the next issue. Now, depending on your thoughts of bookkeeping, but remember, we're talking about a Pilbara-based business. She charges $50 an hour. And for that, remember, we're talking about someone who's really, really good. And $50 an hour in the Pilbara for contracting, consulting type services is not a lot of money. A lot of accountancy firms will be charging $200 or $300 an hour because costs are high. Now, how is it possible that the bookkeeper charges $50 an hour and is really, really good at the same time? And this just highlights the point I'm trying to make here. Two key issues about why this position is logical. The first is she's a stay-at-home mum. Now, what that really means is that someone who's got good ability, has got good work experience and well qualified, has for various reasons gone into a period of her life where she's working from home, kids, etc. Now, that's quite common. You get a lot of very competent people who stay at home for several years at a time for family reasons who can provide very high-level services to businesses. Secondly, she just happens to live in Tasmania. And in Tasmania, it's hard to find a house where the landlord can get $100,000 a year in rent. Costs in Tasmania are very, very low compared to the Pilbara. Therefore, she's in a position to charge less, not because she's selling herself short. She simply lives in an environment where they don't need as much money to function. So I think it makes some sense that this so-called well-qualified Tasmanian bookkeeper is in a position to provide not only quality services, but also provide them at a good price. Now, of course, we've got to deal with the fact that the Pilbara is in the northwest of Australia and Tasmania is in the deep southeast, an island. So how is this all possible? The answer is just by restructuring how you think about accounting and how you do your accounts in terms of technology and software. So, what we're really addressing here is a basic accounting system, and this is really, really simple. You've got a Karratha office, fine. Here's your business, and like all businesses, you produce your paperwork. Now, your paperwork consists of order forms, invoices, bank statements. I think you know what I'm talking about. There's a whole range of things you get in paperwork. Some paperwork is electronic, if I wanted to use that term. For example, you download your bank statements and all this sort of thing. Nevertheless, paperwork's paperwork. The key solution to the accounting system is a thing called a high-speed scanner. Now, this machine, up until a few years ago, or this sort of technology, was incredibly expensive. You can go into a shop and buy a scanner for a few $100s, but if you wanted an actual quality scanner, things that you might want in a business, it would be $5,000 or $10,000. Now you can buy these things for $1,500 to $2,000. Have a look on the internet at them. They're fantastic machines. Now, what you pay for with these high-speed scanners is their ability to process paperwork accurately when they scan them. For example, they not only process the paper quickly, but they can detect whether there's writing on the back, they can detect the thickness of the paper, the shape of it, so you get perfect scans or close to perfect scans. You can literally just pile papers in at the top and they come out the bottom very quickly. They all turn up in PDFs on your computer, literally within a minute. The power of this system is simply what the scanner is doing is digitizing your documents. And it's one of the first key points about this system that people need to understand. The paperwork that you can see there piled to the roof can be converted into a PDF. The PDF means that that paperwork is accessible to anyone in the world, let alone in Tasmania, because you put it on a server and someone can then access that information. Now, your server is basically just your computer. Go online and have a look at some of the tools that are available on the internet for moving information around. You have products like LogMe and Rescue and what they call peer-to-peer processing, where you can link two computers together online. You have send this file operations, you have things called Dropboxes which allow you to share data files within a directory on your computer. There's something that you'll learn very quickly about tools like this on the computer and on the internet is that some of the solutions are incredibly efficient and they're very, very clever, and they're free. You've got no idea how much of this high quality sort of processing solution online is actually free. Now, if you're worried about security, then I'd raise a couple of issues. You send emails, you should be worried about security. You give people access to your machine, you should be worried about security. You store data on your computer and someone steals the computer because you've got it in the shed somewhere, you should be worried about security. You can look at security based with internet solutions. You will find that the risks of doing this can be controlled and are no greater than the risks you're already running by having a computer. It's just a case of knowing how it works. So what's happening is our Tasmanian bookkeeper has instant access to all the documents created in the Karratha office. She can upload the bank statement, she can upload all the paperwork, she can get access to everything. She sits there in Tasmania and she does the accounts. And effectively, what we're saying in this process is that the bookkeeper in Tasmania is able to contact the business in Karratha by phone, able to contact the business in Karratha by either Skype, email, direct computer access. She then does the debtors, the creditors, the BAS returns, the bank reconciliations. She's doing the lot. She can do absolutely everything. And that is all turning up on the computer in the Karratha office. In fact, she's probably dialing in direct to the Karratha office and processing directly online. For those of you who are looking at this at a little higher level, have a look at something called cloud-based accounting systems. Cloud-based systems basically mean that your accounting software is held on a central server. Not expensive. It's a good solution for small business, because what it means is that if she had a cloud-based system running for this business in Karratha, then she could log on to the accounting software, so could the Karratha office, and they process at the same time without actually having to have a direct link between the computers. It's very secure, and these products are coming online very quickly. Mild, for example, are in the process of announcing a cloud-based solution to their software, and most accountancy programs are going to be going this way. The key point I'm trying to make, and I really think businesses should look at this, is that when it comes to processing, it doesn't matter where you are. It really doesn't matter. The fact that she lives in Tasmania should not stop her doing all the financials, and I'm talking all of it, debtors, creditors, the works, and doing it highly accurately. Because remember, because that person lives in Tasmania, the Karratha business has been able to keep in touch with and continue to use the services of a very high-level bookkeeper, which otherwise in the Pilbara they couldn't have accessed, because A, there's just not enough people there and it's under-resourced. And finally, the cost. Not only is the bookkeeper in Tasmania really, really good, but remember, she charges less because she can. I think anyone in small business needs to look at these systems. If you want any more information, just contact Expert Software Systems, but it's actually something you can do yourself. Explore it and have a look at what you're paying to currently get all this done, and then see what would happen. Imagine this, for example. Your Karratha office, your high-speed scanner and your accounts, you advertise for a new bookkeeper, but now you say, I'm going to advertise Australia-wide. I want a new bookkeeper and you're going to design this system. You have no idea how easy it is to do. We've set up these systems before in the northwest where accounts are being done out of Perth. It's not difficult, and I would ask any business to seriously look at this solution. Go online, have a bit of a review, speak to your accountant. I accept the fact that there are some issues in terms of changing the thought process. But I really want to reiterate, you don't need to have your bookkeeper, particularly living in the Pilbara if you are and running your business there, or your accountant living in the Pilbara. They can be anywhere in Australia, doesn't matter.